to our weekly collective reading. Welcome, welcome. Looks like we already have some people in the chat. What's up? Hey, Susie, how are you? Purity Passion, how's it going? Susie, yes, I had a wonderful birthday, and of course, I'll do a little recap for all you guys. Liesel, hello, hello. So, oh my goodness, so happy to, well, I guess, see you guys through my third eye. Anyway, so yeah, lots to share with you guys. Of course, we're going to do our weekly reading. We'll do our elemental reading. And if we have any super chats or super stickers, of course, I'll do those readings at the very end. And people who are tuning in right now or are going to be watching the replay, super chats and super stickers are for people that like a personal reading at the end of the chat. And so that's what I will do. So, oh, Susie, you like it? So let's, hold on. You need to get the full effects. Let's be lazy. All right. So without further ado, let's get a sip of water here. Since it appears everybody's going through a bit of a heat wave right now. It's already 100 degrees here and it's 10 a.m. in the valley here in Tempe. So, all right, so let's go ahead and cast our elemental circle. And by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tara and I'm with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And this is for our weekly collective reading for today, June 12th, all the way to June 18th. So, okay, I have a particular spread for you guys. We have the special question that you guys got to vote on through YouTube members. By the way, hello, new YouTube members. Thank you for joining. Also voting through Patreon and voting through the regular public channel page on my YouTube channel. And then we have a couple of viewers' choice polls. So that's the people that are actually in the chat today will be able to vote on the question that I will be reading for. We'll do a little bit of a healing and we'll say lots of thanks and gratitude. So let's go ahead and cast that elemental circle. I do like to work with the elements in the 4 directions. So let's start off with a little bit of fire. Butterfly Love Child, hello, hello. Susie's saying it's very hot there too. Yeah, I've been hearing that in certain places in California, it's hitting the triple digits to where it doesn't normally hit triple digits this time of year. And so people are just like, so hence the AC that you guys can probably hear in the background, my big jug of very cold water, and we're just chilling on the ground right now. Edgar, hello, hello. Susie said it's 103. I hope you guys have some good AC or swimming pool. Okay, so just giving this a bit of a light. This is a brand new candle, so sometimes it takes a little while to get the wick going. So this is a lovely purple candle that has been dressed in various herbs to connect with our third eye and our crown chakra. I thought it might be helpful. All right, so it looks like it's going pretty good. So let's go ahead and bring out some of our air elements, and I have a bit of sweetgrass here. Just get that all nice and toasty. Sweetgrass is so cleansing and smells amazeballs. And so as I go through these elements, my intention is that the energy of the element also transcends not just where I am, but also to where you guys are as well. So kind of the fire to kind of burn away anything that could cloud our judgment or our intuition, any negativity, just, you know, cast that away, along with the air element. And now bringing in some of that water. By the way, this is full lunar cycle water. So from new moon to full moon, solar eclipse, all the way to lunar eclipse. So good times. Just use that water to wash away that what no longer serves us, so we can get the best and clearest messages. Yes, I'm spraying myself as well. Need a little bit of that. And let's see, Miss some of you guys here. Butterfly said, not too hot here, just humid. Oh yeah, I think there are a lot of people who are talking about the humidity. It's like going between like humid and dry. So my hair doesn't know what to do. So it's just clipped up there for now. Edgar said, feeling like a pin cushion, just got a kitten. Oh, are they making you into a little pin cushion? Oh, I love little kitten claws. Oh my gosh. So Edgar, you have not only all those puppies, but now you have a kitten too. That is amazing. So many little furry babies. Lisa said it's a comfortable 78 degrees there. Ooh, very nice. Yes, Susie, humidity sucks. Okay, so for our earth element, that is going to be the wand that I use, but actually I'm using a knife instead of a wand today. Just really cut through things and carve out that energetic circle for us. So this is a knife that we've made for Desert Cauldron, and I took a video of it while we were out on our property for my birthday, and I'll be posting that to Desert Cauldron's Instagram page, and this will be up for grabs if you guys are interested, but I am going to use it today. So this is actually buffalo horn. This is carved out of buffalo horn. And then this feather here actually comes from one of our grackles that oftentimes you guys can hear playing out there. James inserted a little bit of his kyanite, so a lot of blue kyanite, throat chakra awesomeness, and it's been wrapped in sinew and leather. So let's go ahead and pull in those 4 directions. So first starting off at the right side of me, which is the north. So calling in the elementals of the north to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the east to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the south to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the west to help us to cast our circle today. Our circle is cast, let our work begin, and so it is. All right, yay! Super excited, got all the things. I'm surrounded by all the things, and there is a reason this door is open, because I have something to show you guys that is in here, so just be patient. I have like so much to share with you all. Edgar says, I'm an animal lover. Next, a ferret. Oh, ferrets are so cute. Oh my goodness. Liesel, yes, I agree. Ferrets are adorable. Edgar, I have to say, of the knives that we make, this is kind of one of my faves so far, hence why I'm using this one. Okay, so let's see. I have our list of goodies for today, and of course I want to do a lot of sharing with you guys as well. All the things. Susie's like, what's behind door number 2? Well, you'll see. Okay, let's see. First, you know what? Let's go through our Mayan astrological message for the week. Let's go through our herb that I've chosen for us this week. We'll go into a bit of a story time, so anybody who's watching or gonna watch the replay, if you're not interested in story time, just do a little fast forward. And then we'll dive right into the spread for the week, the elemental reading, the special question, Vera's poll, we'll do our healing, and then our super chats readings. Okay, so let's start off with just grabbing my notes here. All right, so starting off, so Mayan astrology. So if you don't know, I am a Mayan astrologer. I do teach Mayan astrology in my Leon Mystery School, amongst other teachers and other wonderful subjects. And if you're interested in the Leon Mystery School, the link for that is in the information box down below. But okay, so today, the Mayan date is 6 Ahau, which we were just talking about the heat and all the triple digits, except for, I mean, where Lisa lives, apparently it's a very nice 78 degrees. But Ahau is the sun god. It's that intensity, the ability to clear things away, see things for what they really are, shining light on what needs to be seen for what it really is. So the number 6 pertains to the home, all aspects of the home. And that also includes our careers, what we do for a living, the roof over our head and all our material possessions. It's also our actions, both negative and positive, you know, and our actions and reactions. Also dealing with our friendships and relationships and all of those things, all different aspects. So how is shining light on all the various aspects of our life, which is our home. And if there's something that you really need to see it for what it is, today is a wonderful day for that. So if you're looking to remove blocks, you're looking to finally dive into some of those shadows and just clear them once and for all so those repeating patterns can cease. You know, you don't need to keep living that lesson over and over again. If you're wanting to have a good conversation with somebody and make sure that the conversation is as clear as possible, and today may be an important day for that. So if you want to dive into contracts today, if you want to make some business deals today communication is clear if you can tap into that Ahau energy, and also men energy, not men as in males. Men is the word for eagle in Mayan astrology. So it's that bird's eye view, being able to see everything, take a step back, see everything for what it is. The light is shining on it, the sun is shining on it. Where in your life do you want to see things more clearly? Today is great for that. Okay, as we go through our week, and we end, technically the reading for our week will be for Saturday of next week, which is the 18th. We land on 12 Kimi. The number 12 is all about reflection, and Kimi is representative of our ancestors' death and rebirth. So if you would like to reflect and pay homage to your ancestors, and remember that you yourself are an ancestor, you know, soul fragments and like. So if you would go back and like to reflect on that, you want to do some altar work with that, that is a wonderful day. And also, if there are things where you feel like you're going through a shift and a change, you're going through some sort of death and rebirth, today or that Saturday will be a really good time for that. So just kind of keep all of that in mind. Lots of magic going on as we get close to the end of the Trecena. And so well, actually, when we do our live chat again next Sunday, that'll be the end of the Trecena. So it'll be day number 13, and those are all very powerful days, 13 and the 1st. Okay, so let's see. Susie loves story time. All right. Okay, you guys, the herb of the week before we dive into our story, cat's claw bark. I don't know if you guys have some of this where you are. I'm pretty sure it's available. People can maybe find it in the different regions throughout the world. I don't think on every single continent, but in most. Okay, so what is this? So some people call it cat's claw root or cat's root, cat's claw bark, and Edgar was just talking about kittens. So, well, here we are with some cat's bark. Physically, what this herb is really good for is the immune system. If you're looking to boost your immune system, this is really good for that. A lot of people make it into a tea. It might be a little bit bitter as a tea, so if you want to add a bit of honey to sweeten it, that's a really good thing to do. You can also add in other herbs. You guys are witchy in the kitchen, so whatever you want to do, you can add in some other herbs depending on the type of potion or drink that you want to make for yourself. But this is also, it has been said to be effective at eradicating cancer cells. So it's tentatively used within cancer research and things like that. But we know that oftentimes homeopathy and, you know, all the types of natural ways we try to heal ourselves tends to be different than the way the Western world would like us to heal ourselves. So this, like I said, has been shown to, in some cases, help with cancer cells, also helping to fight off viruses. So if it's, you know, if this were wintertime, we're going into flu season, you know, this would be really good for that. And I know that the change in temperature, especially right now with, you know, temperatures going high and low, oftentimes people just kind of get sick because of all the different pollens that are out there, and our body just is like trying to adjust to all the different temperatures, and, you know, people going in and out of doors and staying inside sometimes with the recycled air, with the air conditioning, can kind of make you sick. So this is just really good for that. And for me, the most simplest way to use it is in a tea. How? Now, if you would like to use it for more magical purposes and not for physical healing purposes, then think of it for energetic healing. So if you wanted to put this into an incense, you wanted to put this into a little bag and keep it in your car, keep it in your, maybe a little thing in your bra, those of you that have bras, or in your pocket, you know, so for a little bit of protection, a little bit of overall healing. This is really good for that. So anywhere where you would like some protection. And when you think of cats, you think of the other world. You also think of third eye and crown chakra. So if you're doing any form of divination and you want to get more clear into your readings or pendulums or whatever it is that you guys are using, then this is really good for this. Susie said, good intel. So yeah, cat's claw, you guys. Check out some cat's claw. So feeling under the weather, need a little protection, maybe bust this baby out. Okay, so I have our spread for this week, and it comes courtesy of James. So this is James's spread for the week, but we do have a quick story time. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, so last week was my 41st birthday, and I always love my solar return, any birthdays, just, I don't know, it's exciting because yes, there's gifts and there's possibly cake and sweets and all of that, but it's like 1 year has passed, another year that I get to be here. It's celebrating, you know, my time here on this planet. I've been here 41 years now, and it's been delightful. You know, there have been a lot of twists and turns and ups and downs, and people that I've met and people that, you know, kind of come in and out of my life and ways that I've grown. And it's just, you know, an amazing journey. So hence, I love birthdays. That's why I get excited when you guys tell me it's your birthday, and I love singing for you guys because it's like, yay, sing, let's have fun, let's throw a party, because we're celebrating the time that you were born and got to be here on this planet, and let's celebrate that because we need all your beautiful lights that are here. So everybody that's born is here to help in some form or another. All right, so let's see. Diana said, happy belated birthday. Thank you, thank you. Butterfly's like, I'm ready. All right, so here we go. On Wednesday, we left for the property, and I think this is the longest we've spent up at the property. So we brought tons of camping gear. We brought a lot of like salad-y type perishable stuff, so stuff that we wouldn't really have to cook, you know, just salads are really nice and easy, some bread and some tortillas, you know, so if we want to make like a salad sandwich or, you know, a salad-y like veggie wrap or something like that, you know, it would have been really easy up there. Plus we knew it was going to be warm, not as warm as it is here. It's not triple digits up there in Sholo, but it was in the 90s. I would say that sun is pretty intense, especially when you're at over 6,000 feet. The sun is very intense. So I got a little bit of, I think I OD'd on vitamin D, just a little bit. But it was just, man, I try to put pictures on Instagram and show you guys, but it just doesn't do it justice. It's so freaking beautiful. I am so relaxed. I am so happy when I'm out there on the property. We're surrounded by pinyon pines and juniper trees. Those are kind of the main vegetation that is there. I know that in the springtime there maybe is like a little bit more flowers and things here and there, but right now it's a little too hot for that. So all that you really see is the pinyon pines and the junipers. And they're one seed juniper trees. And I decided while we were there and setting up our tent, by the way, the tent was situated in such a way that you can see the sunrise, which turns the sky a beautiful pink, but it's there only momentarily. And if you miss it, you miss it. And then it turns to what almost looks like a sunset. It turns very golden and orange in the morning. But behind us was the sunset, and twilight and the sunset is just like forever. And it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. I tried to take pictures, like I said, and just the cameras just can't capture all of the colors that are there. And the energy was amazing on the property. I felt like every single animal that's on that property came out to say hello. Susie said, beautiful trees, pinyon pines. Yes, and by the way, they do have really good seeds. So the little nuts that are inside the cones are very good for eating if you wanted to make them into a trail mix. And yes, I did bring my book on what was edible and just getting to know all of the vegetation on my property. I want to know these plants. I want to know what they need. I want to know why certain plants grow next to each other. Oh, by the way, there's a lot of yucca. There's a lot of yucca on the property as well, and agave. So, hey. Dorothea, hello. Welcome. We're just in a little bit of a story time, then we'll get back to our reading. So, there was that and a lot of exploring on the property. 40 acres is a lot of acreage, you guys. I mean, you know it's a lot, but then when you walk it, you're like, oh my gosh, all of this freaking is ours. And we're just brainstorming for hashtag burning sage for the retreat. We're like, oh my gosh, we can make trails going here and there, and people can go on trails, and we can name the trails, and we could put, little yurts or cabins like here and here and here, and it would just be so much fun. And it's far enough away where people feel like they're in nature, but we're close enough to a city where if anybody needed anything, they could get something. So Diana said, so magical. How's the universe? That's how the universe says happy birthday to you. Yes. I was like, because we could hear as soon as the sun goes down, by the way, the coyotes come out. You start hearing, yup, 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 and you can hear all their different personalities. So it's kind of cool to hear the coyotes in the canyon. There's a little canyon that is also on the property, not too far from where we were camping. So the coyotes sounded pretty close, but they're just coyotes, so they're fine. Let's see, what else did we see? There was a lot of lizards that were out there that were speaking to us, and lots of birds and vultures. And one of the birds is called a nighthawk, and it scared us actually at first because we're like, what is that noise? Because it really happens mostly in the evening and kind of all throughout the night. And it sounds like a plane taking a nosedive, like a brrr, then it stops. It's a brrr, and we're like, what is that? Because it's kind of loud. And I was getting bursts of cell reception up there. I don't really have a whole lot of internet, so I was trying to do what I could to send like messages and do readings while I was still up there. But we kept hearing this dive bombing, and so I'm looking up on the internet, like, what makes a dive bomb sound? Like, what kind of bird? And apparently, the nighthawk, which is prominent out there, during mating season, the male birds literally take a nosedive. They start flying towards the ground as fast as they can. They have these very thin feathers, so that as they're diving, it does make a brrr sound, and it's really loud. And they pull up at the last second to impress the ladybirds. And then afterwards, I guess they just kind of sit around and wait for the ladies to come to them. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of that. Definitely a lot of animals getting together and such. I did find that there's a lot of jackrabbits on my property. Kept being followed by some jackrabbits, which was kind of nice. You'd see them hopping off, and some of them, if they didn't have to hop off, because you weren't a threat to them or anything, they just kind of stared at you and like munched. They were like, so it was nice to see lots of jackrabbits. I haven't seen a jackrabbit probably since I was 4 or 5 years old, and that was with my grandparents. And I've only seen one jackrabbit, and that, like I said, was with my grandparents. So now I'm like literally full up on jackrabbits. So this is great. Let's see, what else did we see out there? On the way out, James actually saw 2 elk, a male and a female elk. I have not seen an elk yet, so I am like so sad because I was the one driving, so I missed the elk. But we did see some wild horses, which we have seen, out here. But this time we saw some wild horses that had a little baby colt with it. It was a little pony. I was like, oh, it was a whole horsey family just walking along, near the road with their little baby. And it was just so cute. It was like so magical. All these animals just like, kept coming out. We got to meet a neighbor, which is interesting because you literally need binoculars to see your neighbors. Like you see little roofs maybe here, there amongst all the trees, but everybody's really spread out pretty far apart. And in my mind, I was like, how are you supposed to meet your neighbors? Like, because you're literally would just be driving onto somebody's property and like awkwardly knocking on the door. So I don't know. So James and I were down in one of our little kind of canyons, and we were popping off our guns, because we just wanted to do a little target shooting. And I hear a vehicle approaching. I'm like, it's odd to hear car noises out there because there's really no cars. So you're like, what's that sound? I'm like, is there a car approaching? And so I freeze, I holster my weapon, and and so I'm like, James, and there's like this car just like kind of creeping up, this like SUV just kind of creeping up onto the property, and I'm like, who is this? It's like so awkward. And so I start walking towards the vehicle, and the guy gets out and he's like, "Hi, I'm your neighbor." I'm like, "Hello?" And he's like, "Hi, my name is Robert." And he's like saying, "I live right over there." And he says, he's like, "I heard gunfire." And he says, "I wanted to check it out." So he starts driving. Apparently, he hears gunfire, so he starts driving towards the gunfire. Most people turn the other direction, but he went towards it. And he's like, "So I just wanted to see like what was going on up here." And I said, "Oh, well, we're the new owners of this property. We're trying to get a home out here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys gonna do a mobile home? What, we just had a little conversation." He seemed really nice, and said, basically gave us the directions to his house if we ever wanted to come by and visit. And he was really nice. He had a big dog in his vehicle too. And he was like, "Yeah, you're really gonna like it out here." And he says, "By the way, when you do get a house out here," he says, "people are going to start randomly knocking on your door." He says, like, everybody knows who's moving into the quote unquote neighborhood. So like everybody knows what parcel of land is for sale, everybody knows who bought it, and everybody kind of keeps an eye out on building, like what new house. And so I'm imagining all these people that are just mountain folks, just like out there with their binoculars, like, "We have a new one. We have a new one." So yeah, apparently he says, yeah, he goes like, when I first moved in, he says random people just started coming on my property and knocking on the door and introducing themselves and saying where they live. So he says, yeah, just expect that people are just going to start coming up here and wanting to introduce themselves like once you do get a house here. He's like, "But I'm Robert, if you need anything," he's all, "just come on over." And we're like, okay. We would have met another neighbor, but we were too far away on the property. Like I could see them driving up onto like where my Jeep was and our campsite and everything. But the acreage, there's a lot of acreage. So all I could do was be like, there's people up there. So maybe we'll see them next time. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, Susie, the welcome wagon. Oh, butterflies. So the stars. The time we were up there this past few days, there was a little bit of cloud cover, so not as many stars as usual. I mean, still more stars than like you would see out in a city. But on a clear night, there's stars on top of stars. That's all I can describe it as. It's like you barely see any of the blackness of the night because there's so many stars. Like it literally looks like diamonds all across the sky. It's the most beautiful thing. And you can clearly see the planets, and you can clearly see kind of the glow of where the sun still kind of is underneath the earth. Hence there's a lot of twilight, and the moon is just so clear. And even when there isn't a moon, you can still see the outline of the moon and kind of the shadow of it pretty clearly out there. It's amazing. Lisa says, "Yeah, mountain folks are the same way the world over." Susie's like, "I like that, mountain folks." Yeah, I think I dig it too. So they seem pretty close knit, even though they are very, very far apart. So I'm going to love that a lot because I like neighbors. I like baking things like pies and things like that. I am that kind of neighbor. I like to like bake stuff and like have maybe little get-togethers and stuff like that. So I'm just so excited. And so while I was also up there on the more spiritual side, I decided to do a land healing. So I went to all four corners of my property with my drum. So I brought this drum here. And since it was so warm and the altitude was so high, the sound of the drum was a lot more high pitched, whereas now it's got more, I would say, bass to it. But I basically went to all four corners, and I was just announcing my presence and that I'm here, and my intention is to care for this land. I want to be the caretaker of this land. So I want to help bring a balance between human and plant, human and animal, animal and plant. I want to try and bring it back. I'm going to be digging a well out there and everything. So I want to bring food back to the land. I want to have a garden. Of course, I would love to have hashtag burning sage. So I want to basically bring in a little community. I want a place where people feel comfortable, they feel calm, they feel recharged, in nature, where they there isn't a fear of animals and there isn't a fear of plants, where you get to know the animals, you get to know the plants. I want people to feel comfortable in nature again, like we used to be, before we built all this concrete and buildings and things like that. So I want to kind of bring people back to their roots. And I was basically saying that's my intention. And could I be the guardian of this land? And I kind of felt like the land was giving me the keys, saying, if this is your promise and this is what you intend to do, let's start today. So I was like, okay. So anytime we had, like I said, we brought just mostly perishable things to eat. So anything we didn't eat, just throw it out underneath a tree. Even by the way, tea. When you guys make your tea, if you could take it out of the tea bag, if you use tea bags, just take it out, put it underneath a tree. Some trees do prefer the acidity of tea, so it really does help the soil. So yeah, I'm so excited, you guys. So yeah, I was doing that. I did a bit of a meditation. Like I said, I also went to all four corners with the drum, and I did feel like things were coming to life, and that there was a lot, like I could see a lot of things going on out of the corner of my eye. I did see a lot of spirits of the people that used to live on the land, which would have been the Navajo and the Hopi, possibly some Apache. I did feel like there were many animal spirits that were on the land, also physical animals that were there, and everything. It's like they were watching. They were just watching us, and I could see it out of the corner of my eye, and sometimes with my physical eyes. And then I also did a connection for all the spirits, like human spirits and animal spirits too, who are on the land, whose soul fragments still feel like they need to stay there. And so I say soul fragments because sometimes there are people, like let's say I pass away and my soul goes back to source, but pieces of my soul are still in my past lives, and some pieces of my soul might still be in this human. So even though my body is dead, there might still be a soul fragment that feels attached to this particular area. And so what I was trying to do is say any soul fragments that are in this area that wish to be reunited with the rest of the soul, then I wanted to help them cross over. And there were many of them that were eager, and I realized they wanted an offering before they crossed over. And for them, I kept saying, that you could cross over to the Great Spirit. So my offering to them was an ear of corn, because at first I was trying to offer these different things and the spirits were just kind of looking at me until I was like, do you want corn? And they were like, yes, please. I was like, okay. So, because corn is a symbol of basically life and fertility and abundance. And I guess that would be a really nice gift, as somebody does a bon voyage. So these spirits just kind of lined up and gave them their ear of corn. And then they basically went onto the portal that I had open for them. And there was one spirit in particular that I had made friends with, and I call her Anna. I don't actually know what her real name was, but she seems to not mind Anna, so I call her Anna. And she is Navajo, and or Dene, and she was the sweetest person, and I don't really feel her energy around me so much anymore because she did kind of cross over. But she was with me for the days leading up to me getting up there, because she really wanted me. She's like, you need to help a lot of people that feel they need to stay attached to this land. It's not that any sort of trauma happened that they feel they need to stay attached, but they feel, she says, like, in my time, we were the caretakers of this land. Like basically the land is our garden and we need to care for it. We were in charge of bringing balance between human and animal, human and plants, and we kept the balance. And so it's a huge responsibility when you feel that you're responsible for the earth. And so many of them, their spirits did ascend, but pieces of their spirit did remain on earth because they felt that responsibility, like we can't leave this site because we are still responsible for taking care of it. And she says, but if you promise that you're going to bring in people as well as yourself to help take our place, then they'll feel more comfortable moving on. And I was like, okay, so that's the promise that I made. I promised them all that I said, I want to bring life back to this land. I want to bring community back to this land. I know it's beautiful with all of its trees, but I know it could be more lush. I know that there could be more. We could bring in particular insects by bringing in certain plants. Those insects will bring in particular birds. Those birds will bring in some bigger animals, things like that. And so we want to kind of bring the cycle back to that little area. So That's the plan. Let's see. Everything so special, cool. Lisa's like, spirits love gifts from the earth. Yes. And Diana said, sounds like a lot of spirits of the old world were there. Corn is very sacred. Yes, I was getting that. And I was trying to do research on kind of how I saw them dressed and things like that. And they did appear, like many of them were Dene or Navajo. So there was that. So that was an amazing birthday trip. And I was really sad when we had to leave. I'm like, do we have to go back to Tempe? And I was thinking maybe I could do my live chat from up there. But like I said, the internet is, it's a little iffy. I would have never been able to live chat up there. But oh, it would have been great. Wish I was still there. But yeah, I think the land knows I'll be back. And yeah, so all right. Also, I do want to say I received a lot of lovely gifts, and I want to talk about those lovely gifts. So first gift, let's talk about the gifts for my best friend. All right, so my friend Steph that lives out in Belgium, my sister from another Mista, she got me this book. I just got it yesterday. It's Goddesses for Every Day, and it's a book that I wanted to, I actually was going to buy myself the day I got back yesterday, but looks like this showed up in the mail. She read my mind. Says you get to build your home from there. You will be back. Of course, of course. So yeah, my bestie got me this book. And this is really interesting because it's broken up by day. Like let's say today, let's say June 12th. All right, June 12th. June 12th, we have Heket. And so there's like a goddess for every single day. Regeneration. And it says, Heket is an Egyptian goddess of fertility and regeneration. Her icon is the frog. Multitudes of frogs appeared in Egypt at the time of the annual inundation of the Nile and served as harbingers of the flood. Heket was part of the Osirian family, and Hakau, or words of power, were said to emerge from her priestesses. And it goes on with tons of other information, and it gives you a little contemplation if you wanted to do some journaling. Like, I will speak words of power and breathe fresh life into all my projects. And then kind of what does that mean for you? And you can journal that. So I thought this was a great book. Thank you, Steph, if you're watching. she's probably in bed by now. But yeah, thank you so much. And she got me one other thing. Because she knows that I like my little pew-pews. I do like my pistoles. She got me a gun mug. And it does have tea in here, by the way, right now. It's got a Earl Grey as per the captain's orders. Earl Grey hot. That is good. By the way, I was just like thinking though, this mug doesn't have good trigger discipline because nobody's supposed to walk around with their gun like that. Like, so you have to walk around like this. Like, it's much more safe, you know. The Earl Grey is good. Hold on a little bit more. Okay, and then Sumi. You guys all know Sumi. She pops in and out. Sumi and the Black Cat. She got me a few things. Totally obviously wasn't expecting anything from anyone, but Sumi got me this cute little journal. This is Yum, little kitty cat in a cone. So I'm gonna figure out what I would like to use this for. And then she got me a cool little pineapple pouch, and I'm thinking I could put maybe one of my larger decks in here, or I like to use travel pouches, like travel altars. Like obviously I brought tons of supplies because I knew I was going to be doing healings and clearings on my property. So I needed a little bit bigger bag for that. But for my normal travel, this is usually a bag I would have, you know, put a little bit of maybe a Palo Santo stick in here, and maybe one of my smaller wands, or possibly just a selenite stick, some little herbs and oils and things like that. Really good for travel altars. So thanks, Sumi. And she also got me some more Santa Muerte candles because I was out of my Santa Muerte candles. So thank you, thank you. And then Susie. Susie got me the Oracle of Roses. We are going to be using this deck during our chat today. So thank you, because she knows how much I love my roses. And definitely going to be planting some roses up there at the property for sure. All right, and then James's mom sent me a nice gift. Check out this journal. Yay, thank you, Susie. And she knows that, she's like, I try to find things that you like. So I know you like the chakras and the stones. And she says, and I know you like your witchy stuff. She was trying to find something with a pentacle on it. And she knows that I like certain very special oldie type paper. And so her and her husband know that I like to draw. So they're hoping that maybe I can turn this into a sketch journal. So I thought this was a lovely idea. And I think I will. I think this will be really good for maybe pencil if I do some of my sketching in pencil in here. So yay, super excited about that. Susie said, what a great mom. Yes, they are so sweet. And from James, okay. So first of all, James got me this, I don't know, hold on. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me get in close here. So this, Lisa said it's a lovely grimoire journal. Yeah, definitely. So James got me this, and I don't know, it's probably better seen in the sunlight, but this is fluorite from Colorado, and it's one of the few fluorites out there that have druzy in it. So it's a druzy green fluorite, and it feels amazing. And so James actually, he put, the, what do you call it? Wire wrapped it himself. So Diana said, love that journal. And Susie's like, you did good, James. And he also got me some Mexican coins. Hey! So check this out. I love my Mexican coins. So you guys know that I like my coins and all of that. This is like for the Olympics in Mexico. So that's a cool coin. And then there's this one. It's got the head of the last Aztec emperor on there. So love my coins. And there's a couple of decks he got me, which we're going to be using for our reading today. The gold foil tarot, so you guys will be able to see that one, and the holographic tarot. So Magic Seer holographic tarot. And I think you guys are gonna like that. So we'll definitely use it in our reading. And then the last thing, and this is why the closet is open. And Susie was asking, what is behind door number 2? Well, let me show you. Susie's like, gold foil looks good. Oh, you guys are gonna like it. Trust me. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so you guys know that I'm a Trekkie. I love Star Trek, hence why I drink Earl Grey tea for Captain Picard. Star Trek The Next Generation is the shit, okay? I've been a Trekkie since like 1980 something, all right? So he got me this. So, okay, in the later seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation, Captain Picard started wearing more like dressed down. He wasn't always wearing his uniform. He would sort of still wear his uniform, but it was like a jacket that he wore over a turtleneck. And so James got me the buttons to show my rank of captain. And this is all suede, so I can't really wear it right now. It's a little too hot skis, but this is going to be great later on. I already had the Star Trek communicator pin, so I, of course, had to put it on there. And yeah, so your girl is captain now. I'm a captain of the ship. So, yay! And yeah, when it does start getting colder, I will of course start wearing it for my live chats because it's amazing. I love this jacket so much. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's see. Butterfly's like, I'm adoring strange new worlds. Susie says, love it. Lisa says, that's fantastic. And Susie said, a great motorcycle jacket as well. Yes, definitely. And keep you nice and warm though. Silver Star said, super sweet. Oh, hey, Silver Star. Yes, Susie, I definitely had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. So, yes, I did get a lot of lovely gifts, but just the day was amazing. You know, just the, I don't know, all the energy, just being able to hang out on the property, just, you know, it was just nice, you know. I really loved it. Okay, so let's take a look using my new decks into this upcoming week. Thank you, Dorothea. Like I said, Earl Grey tea, awesome. Oh, hold on. Better finger trigger discipline. Oh, and by the way, do you want to see the coaster that I have this on? I have these little cat coasters. They're Star Trek cat coasters. So this is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Make it so. So there's that. Anyway, all right, you guys. So let's dive into this James's week ahead spread. We're going to be using Wally's World, of course, for that one. And if you guys are interested in my Wally's World, the link is down below. And one of the new decks that he got me, that gold foil deck, you guys are going to love this. Let me tell you. All right, so let's pull out these cards. And if you guys would like to bust out your decks as well, please do so. I love when we all get to kind of read together, pull cards together. And if there are things that you get in the reading that I'm not necessarily mentioning, then please do mention it. That's what these live chats are for, so that you guys can contribute. You guys can say a little something, something, you know? All right, so I have the cards here. By the way, these are the backs of them, and they are edged in black, which is pretty cool. Dude, look at those. These remind me of my storybooks when I was younger. They are a little slippy, so you have to be a little bit more careful with them. But they're waterproof, so if you wanted to read by the pool, at the beach, at the lake, which we did go to Fool's Hollow Lake while we were up there in Sholo, could bring these cards and it'd be okay if they got wet. All right, so let me pull out Wally's World here. While you guys go get your decks, let me know what decks you guys are using this week. Let me know. Or maybe for this reading here. So I give you guys a little bit of time. Grab your decks. I'm going to read off the questions, but of course I'll read them one by one as I pull the cards. All right, so here are the questions. It's 5 questions here. Okay, for this week, how you will feel this week is card number 1. Card number 2, issues that you may encounter this week. Card 3, what will help you this week. Card 4, what might hinder you or hurt you this week. And lastly, card number 5, what you will gain or learn from this upcoming week. All right? All right. So let's see, what are you guys working with? Lisa is using the Wandering Star Tarot. Excellent. Silver Star says, sounds like you had a fantastic birthday. You deserve it all. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, you guys, while you guys are off getting your decks and everything, you might notice that Lisa and Susie have a particular little chakra colored cat head next to their name, and that's because they have joined as YouTube members. Thank you. So if you guys are interested in the YouTube membership, the link for that is also down below. So I want to say thank you so much. Susie has the Druid Animal Oracle deck because of all your animal friends in Sholo. And Silver Star is like, I'll be lurking, I'm at work. And Susie's like, lurk away. Yes, do lurk. By the way, that is our 1980s fridge in the background. And that's what the fridge had to say about that. Okay. All right, you guys. So Dorothea is using the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Excellent. And by the way, if you guys don't have any decks on hand, hey, just pull down some of that, you know, inspiration from your intuition and, you know, go ahead and go with that. So, all right, I'm going to use Wally's World for just an overall theme for this week, something that I could refer to as we're reading the cards. And by the way, you guys at the same time, please pull cards, or, you know, any inspiration hits you, any intuition strikes you, then definitely do say it out. That's what these live chats are for. All right. Wally, Wallito, what do we have? All right, looks like he has his message. All right, this is what Wally says. Hold on. This is what Wally says is coming for us this week. Silver Star says, welcome KWT Magic members. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Silver Star. Welcome, welcome. That's amazing. Okay, so like a lightning strike, right? Okay. Silver Star's like, well, I'm at it. So in this card, this actually, I did capture this lightning. That was something I was working on when I first started using DSL cameras, was like, I really wanted to learn how to capture lightning. So this is one of the few lightning strikes that I'm very proud of that I was able to capture during a storm. Probably a little unsafe being out in a lightning storm with a camera, but that's okay. Got a cool picture. So we have Wally down here. Actually, this is when Wally was just a kitten, when he was just a baby, and he's just checking out the lightning there. All right, let's see. Butterfly says, I got the 3 of Swords flying out for my overall week. Really? Well. So yeah, you guys, what are you guys getting for the overall week so far? Susie said, theme for this week, I pulled bee energy with a huge sun. Yay! All right, let me dive into this and see what I get. Oh, okay. Overall energy, I was getting that life is full of unexpected events, but this week more than usual, bigger events occurring unexpectedly. And what little Wally I was getting, what he's saying in here is to really try and go with the flow. The more that we try to control our week and try to control our environment and the things that happen, the more we struggle and the more we suffer, the more anxiety that we get, because we can't control basically the earth and the world, and because it's not our little mini snow globe. We're in the snow globe, okay? So it's more like, as things happen, deal with it in the present, instead of, oh my gosh, this is going to throw off this future plan and that future thing and this future thing, and oh my gosh, and this reminds me of something that happened in the past. That's taking you out of the present. And yes, maybe the event is positive, maybe the event is negative, but it's all about working with it as it comes, and dealing with it as it comes. And if you do that, then you don't put the pressure of, maybe past traumas coming back that, need healing, or then putting yourself into the future. How is this going to affect tomorrow? How is this going to affect the end of the week? How is it going to affect me 3 hours from now? But just as it comes. And if you can do that, you'll find yourself more grounded, more relaxed, and it'll be easier to kind of work through whatever it is, positive or negative, or maybe it's neutral. Maybe it's just how we end up looking at it that we spin the positive or negative on it. So I'm really getting the really flow with these lightning strikes that happen throughout this week as they come, not trying to anticipate anything, because that's, again, like control, but just as it comes. And as it comes, like, okay, this is what we're dealing with right now, and then we move on. All right, let's see. Lisa is getting the 4 of Pentacles. Ooh. Butterfly says there's thunder and lightning in the background. Oh, really? Oh, as we left the property yesterday, there was a storm rolling in, so we got to hear the thunder, and it sounds amazing when there's like, you're in the middle of nowhere and you hear this. It was so cool. Dorothea says, I got the Emperor in this deck. He is called the Forest Lord. So cool. Dude, a lot of big energy going on here. That's awesome. I'm just kind of going back and looking at all of your cards that you guys have pulled so far. That is amazing. All right. Susie's like, desert storms are the best. Yes, especially desert mountain storms. All right, we get to bust out this new and shiny deck, which I know you guys are going to love. And let's look at the very first card. All right, so very first card. How will we feel this week? How will we feel this week? Let's take a look here. How will we feel this week? Dun, 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 dun. And I suppose that's dependent on how we look at things this week, right? How we will feel this week. Okay, here's our, ooh, hold on. Like I said, the cards are a little slip slidey. Ooh, we have the Justice card. Ooh. I think this is really good just for staring at. I'm just like, Susie got Fire Dragon. Very cool. All right, let me tap into this one. How will we feel this week? I'm getting that we feel like the great balancer or equalizer. So the equalizer. Did anybody watch that show back in the 80s? I did. Anyway, so let's say that lightning strike comes this week. Could be positive, could be negative, could be neutral, and we put our own little spin on it. And our ego right away wants to start looking at it, analyzing it, and deciding that it's something similar to something that happened in the past, which brings up all these old things, which then brings this old stuff into the present moment, causing us to fret and worry. And this is where our higher self is going to have to equalize things. It's like, okay, little ego. We realize that those are some things that are in need of healing in the past, but what happened in the past has no bearing of what's happening right now, right in front of me. So ego, thank you very much for letting me know what I have to heal, but my focus is on the present moment right now. And if we, like I said before, want to jump into the future, how's this going to affect tomorrow? Is it going to affect me a year from now? Again, that takes us out of the present moment. It's much more difficult when our focus is in front of us and our focus is behind us instead of our focus being right here. In order to deal with the situation, it's harder to see it more clearly. And the Lord for this week in Mayan astrology is men. I said it was the eagle. It's having an eagle's eye perspective, being able to see everything. So we're taking that into this week as well with that equalizer energy, depending, which will decide how we feel. If we can keep ourselves focused in the present, see it from I would say a higher perspective, just kind of looking at it, looking at all aspects of it, not taking into account all this past stuff, not taking into account what it will be in the future. We'll worry about that when it comes. Then we get to balance things out again. We get to balance our emotions again. It keeps our emotions from, going all over the place because it's so tied up in the past and it's so tied up in the future. And it makes the present very difficult in doing so. So like I said, it's that kind of equalizing. The higher self has to kind of equalize with the ego and say, okay, thank you. Yes, I know that you're a little worried about stuff from the past. Yeah, we'll heal that. We'll work on that. Yes, I know you're worried about the future, but you know what? We're not there yet. So just hold your britches. Okay. All right, so that's what I was getting with this one. Let's see what you guys got here. Astrid said, hi everyone, I'm using Tarot of Vampires Phantasmagoria, and I've gotten Lord of Knives full of lightnings. Oh my gosh. Butterfly said 5 of Wands, pretty challenged, but probably of the more productive type. Lisa got the King of Cups. Everybody's saying hello to Astrid. Dorothea said, I got the 9 of Swords and 9 of Wands. 2 nines, really? I have a pretty stressful week coming. Wow. My goodness. So yeah, Dorothea, just as they come, each day, I know that that's like a little saying sometimes people say is like one day at a time. But really it is. Sometimes we want to take 5 days at a time or a week at a time or a month or even a year at a time. And we don't realize we're doing it until we're all worked up in a tizzy and it's like, where's my brain been for the past 5 minutes? Oh, I've been like thinking about 5 years from now and 1 year from now, and this could happen and this could happen. And we've totally missed the last 5 minutes of being in this beautiful present moment. So I get you. All right, with the Justice, and let's see what else we got here. Number 2, what issues might we encounter this week? So what do you guys get, and what issues we might encounter this week? Some issues, some problemas. Dorothea said, thank you, it really helps. And your message about staying present came in perfect timing for me. Well, I'm so glad it helped. All right, issues that we may encounter. All right, just put that there. And we have the 7 of Cups. I think this ring light is like working really well for this card. Hold on. We have a little fire here. The candle was going out of control. Sometimes it catches the herbs that it's rolled in on fire, so I just stopped it before the candle burnt down too far. Okay, so the 7 of Cups, problems that we may encounter this week. Butterfly said, 9 of Swords, my own mind-blowing anxieties out of proportion. It can happen. I'm guilty of that. All right, let's dive into this one. Okay, I'm getting that some difficulties that we may encounter this week, I believe, are also attached to those kind of lightning strikes that we're talking about, those unexpected events, and we want to kind of control everything, and then it brings up all this stuff from our past, and then we start thinking about all this future stuff. When it comes to solving the problem or just kind of thinking about what to do next, it's almost like we get, and like I said, it could be a positive event, it could be a negative event, it just, or however we choose to take it. But it's like we become overwhelmed with what we could do next. Then we start thinking so much into the future. It's like, okay, well, if I do this next, then this may happen, then this may happen, then this may happen, which will then result in this. And then what if I have to do this? And we get stuck in doing nothing is what I'm feeling. Where we're spending so much time in thinking, what if, instead of just making a decision and then seeing how it plays out. It's like having 4 decisions in front of us. Well, we could do this, 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 or this. But if I do this, it's all this like future thinking and kind of almost playing out an entire lifetime based on each choice. When really, it's just, since it is a Cups card, just kind of going within the heart, going with your higher self and saying, okay, higher self, how do you feel about option 1? Meh. Higher self, how do you feel about option 2? Meh. Okay, how do you feel about option 3? Yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right, then I'll go with that one. And then we just trust that we'll know what to do next. We trust that we have all the tools we need for whatever happens next. The best psychics in the world don't have every facet of their lives all planned out. And that's the journey. That's the thrill of being a human being. That's where our tools come in handy, and that's where we get more tools, is from the unexpected. Okay, so that's what I was getting for the 7 of Cups. Lisa got the 4 of Swords, quiet rest and reflection, I feel. All right. Very cool. I'm just like enamored with how shiny these cards are. Okay. Very nice, very nice. All right. Question number 3, guys. What could help us this week? So what could help you this week? All right. And go ahead, pulling your cards. Please, please continue. I'm loving all the messages so far. Dorothea said, I got the world reversed and was called to read it reversed, especially with this deck. I feel like the world here tells me I'm too focused on what I don't have. That's a very good message. Feeling trapped, but the cards show me that the storm will pass. Of course. Of course. Susie's like, sorry guys, lost the internet, but you're back. Susie's back. Welcome back, Susie. Boom, boom. All right, so what can help us this week? Let's see here. And we have the 9 of Cups. Well, look at that. We even got Butterfly singing over there. Welcome back, Susie. Lisa said, my deck spat out the High Priestess. Dude, I love when the decks just like start throwing cards. You're just like, pew, pew. Susie said, oh, she got Stag energy. And Butterfly said, what could help? The Hierophant. Very nice. All right, let me dive into this Nine of Cups, although I think I pretty much got the message, but let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, gratitude of all the things you have and all the things you are in the present moment. So let's imagine your best day. You know, let's say one of those lightning strikes is one of the best things ever. In that moment, gratitude that, yay, this lightning strike happened because, you know, it reminded me of what I should be grateful for, which is, you know, my friends and my family and the roof over my head and the clothes on my back and the food in my fridge and, you know, fur babies if you have fur babies, or children if you have children. You know, also being able to take nice deep breaths of this wonderful air, and you know, and maybe you're surrounded by trees, maybe you're surrounded by friendly neighbors. You're just like thinking of all the things to be grateful for, and it just like magnifies that positive energy of that moment. Or let's say that something very unhappy happened. You know, think of maybe the most unpleasant day. And in that unpleasant time, of course, you want to allow your body to feel. So if you feel sad, then feel sad. If you want to cry, then you cry. If you were angry, then be angry. You know, but also thank your emotions for showing you what you're angry about, what you're sad about. You're thinking that your emotions, that you have this language, this unspoken language that can be felt to help you navigate your world, that you can understand. I thank the people that are here with me that can help me through this difficult time. I thank myself for going through all those past trials and tribulations, because now I have the tools needed to help me through this difficult time. So thank you for all the difficult times that I've been through that are going to help me with this difficult time. Also, thank you for me for being here. So definitely thank yourself too. Have gratitude for yourself, all the things that you've been through, all the things that you've grown from. Your connection to your higher self, your connection to source, or whatever you want to call it, you know, your connection to your heart. Thank you that I could be connected to these things. Thank you that when I am going through difficult things, I know what to do. I know that I could retreat into the forest, or that I can go into a meditation, or, you know, that I have all of these things around me. So it's just gratitude. Whatever the event or events are this week, go into gratitude mode. Try to get as minute as possible every teeny little thing that you could be grateful for. Even if it's the birds that I hear outside our window over the AC, which means that they're that AC is loud. And if I can hear them over it, then they are loudly calling. Thank you for the beautiful songs that I hear from those birds. You know, every little thing, you guys. Right. Let me go back. So many messages. Butterflies like shiny. Astrid said, issue, judgment. I shouldn't rush with decisions. Try to think before jumping into action. Very good. And Lisa saying the Hierophant is nice. Silver Star said, have a dream as a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep in my head. Nice. I love that. Dorothea said, for me, death. In this deck, death is a big black dog, and for me it feels like I need to befriend my anxieties and fears. Very cool. Sue said, I looked up stag energy, independence and purification energy. Very cool. So many wonderful messages, you guys. I love it. See, that's why I love these chats. Okay. Question 4. What could hinder us or harm us this week? So what could hurt us, particular actions or thoughts? So what could hinder or hurt us this week? What could hinder or hurt us this week? Bum, bum, bum. Oh my gosh. I'm not laughing at things hindering or hurting us this week, but the image that popped into my head. I don't know if you guys watch like Instagram Reels or you're on TikTok or something like that. You ever see those like little short videos? And it's the beginning of that song says, somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay, so that's the beginning of that song, and it's usually they put it on these reels where people like land on their face, or they're like trying to skateboard on a railing and they like fall on their crotch or something like that. It's like somebody, like just boom, face plant on something. So, and that's what I was getting for what could harm us or hurt us this week, or hinder us. And I got the Queen of Swords. Susie loves that song too. She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Oh, and then they go into some really fast lyrics. I forget some of those lyrics. All I know is your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with living the back streets? Lisa said, Ace of Swords and Six of Cups. Nice combo. Action required, I think. Butterfly got the Four of Coins. Hanging on too hard to control. Silver Star says, what popped in my head when you pulled the Nine of Cups? Really? Susie's like, love that song. Oh, Susie got goose energy. Like somebody goosing you? Silver Star, loving that song. Yeah, now that song's going to be stuck in my head, seriously, after this chat. And I have a reading to do after our live chat today. So it's one of our, like my Viber call readings that I do. Okay, so Queen of Swords, let's see. What could harm us, or hurt us or hinder us this week? And I'm just getting the ego. It's just the ego all the way. The ego jumps in, like let's say it is a positive event that pops in. The ego may look at it and be like, yeah, well, but how long will this positive event last? And like, do I really deserve this? And all of a sudden all this old like trauma stuff and childhood stuff comes up, and it just kind of ruins the present moment, because we're bringing up all this stuff ourselves. Are we worthy of this thing? How long will this thing last? Now we're looking at the positive event as having a time limit on it, and will this happen again in the future? And it's like not being grateful for just what's right in front of you. And let's say it's a negative event. Let's say it's something that we might have a difficult time with. Then the ego just spins out of control. Oh my gosh, why me? This is a really bad time for this. This reminds me of this one thing, And then you're going, and again, taking you out of the present moment with being able to handle what is right in front of you. So I do feel like one of our biggest hindrances is the ego this week, the somebody, and it's almost like smacking your head on the ground, like, or hitting your head against the wall. Like, why would you do that? Let's just look at what's right in front of you instead of trying to deal with a bazillion things that happened in the past, or a bazillion things that we think might happen in the future. Let's just be grateful for what's right in front of us. Yeah, let's not walk around with the shape of an L on our forehead, Okay. All right. So that's what I'm getting with this one. All right. Butterfly said, I'll have to change my interpretation. It's a greedy little hamster, so maybe I'm just too distracted by the material shiny things. Oh, greedy little hamster. Silver Star's like, okay, home, on break, getting cards. Yay! Oh my gosh, hamsters are so cute. I used to have a hamster once. They are adorbs. Okay, so Queen of Swords here, coming in with that shiny energy. And let's pull our final card for this week, which is what we will gain or learn from this week. What will we gain or learn from this week? Let's find out. What will we gain or learn? I'm tearing less, but still tearing every time I do channeling, but let's see. Maybe we'll get to a point where I don't have to tear every time. All right, what will we gain or learn this week? Okay, looks like we have our card. Oh, the Four of Wands. Party. All right, let me dive into this one. All right, if we can take the suggestions, and these are all just suggestions, by the way, you know, you guys have free will. You decide what you want to do with your lives every single second of every single day. But if some of these suggestions can be taken into consideration, you know, equalizing the energy, knowing that, you know, just a part of life is that things happen and it's our viewpoint that makes it positive or negative. Also, some of the other suggestions of living in the present moment, so not becoming overwhelmed by making decisions of what to do next. And in essence, then we become non-action oriented. You know, we end up not making a decision. But if we can just stay within the present and not throw our past onto it, not throw our future onto it, and also practice our gratitudes, this is where we become more grounded. And when you're more grounded, you build a better foundation for that present moment. When you feel like you're on stable ground and you feel grounded, well, anxiety is less or not at all. Our fear is less or not at all. And we feel more heart-centered. We feel, I hate to use the word control, but we feel more in control of ourselves. You know, what we want to feel in the next moment. We decide, do I want to feel sad in the next moment? Do I want to feel happy in the next moment? We get to decide. And that comes from a very balanced, stable place. But that can only happen if we are solely focused on the present. Now, I know that sometimes, you know, we daydream. I'm a daydreamer because I'm an air sign. I'm Gemini. Got a lot of air in my chart. So I daydream a lot. But it's bringing yourself back to that present moment so that you can enjoy everything that's around you, because the present doesn't come again. It can only come once. Okay, all right. Let's see. When you guys get here. All right. Butterfly said gain or learn. She got judgment, discerning what's worth pursuing or paying attention to and what's just anxiety, brain, or distractions. And Susie got crane energy, secret knowledge, patience, and longevity. Lisa was like, I got the lovers, love, harmony, and unity. Very cool. Silver Star pulled the star healing transmutation through movement. Very nice. And Dorothea got 10 of cups. Excellent. Lots of amazing cards, you guys. Yay! All right, so we'll put that one down there. All right, so let's put this off to the side. And I'll put my little Scully back here. Hello, little skull. All right, so let's take a look at the next thing while you guys maybe are still pulling some cards, which is cool. All right, so interesting week ahead. So let's take a look at the elemental forecast. So this is just a little extra message based on those of you that have fire signs, water signs, earth signs, air signs in your chart. This just gives you a little bit extra and possibly a little bit more personalization for the week ahead. And for that one, I'm doing something special with you guys. You guys know I love bones, right? So I do read with bones, and maybe that's another little offering I should put up on my channel, which, by the way, up on my website and my Etsy shop, Kittens Waits Tarot, and the website kittenswaitsandtarot.com, I've added 2 more offerings. So Mayan astrological birth chart readings, also known as destiny chart readings. So if you're interested, and also pregnancy readings. So I do very well at connecting to unborn baby energy. So, but anyway, maybe I should do offer my bone readings as well. So I have several different animal bones in here that I like to work with, and I would like to pull a bone for each of those signs. So air sign, fire sign, water sign, earth sign. Silver Star says, okay, back internet is bugging out. Well, Welcome back, Heather. Welcome back, Heather. Welcome back. Yeah, Susie, the internet seems to be a little funky today. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just pour my bones on the ground here, and then I'm just gonna intuitively pick for each of those 4 elementals signs. All right, so are you guys ready? Let me know what what are the elements that you guys have going on. So for me, I am air, water. So that's Gemini, Libra, Scorpio. So Gemini moon, Gemini sun, Libra moon, and Scorpio rising. But yeah, let me know and we'll go ahead and pull the bones. So we'll figure out what message these animals have. And a lot of these animals, I do believe, connect with the various elements as well. That like some animals are more fire, some are more water, some are more earthy and more air based and things like that. So I think it's a good mix in here. All right, so Susie is air and earth, Lisa earth, water. Silver Star is Aries, Sun, Mars, and Venus, Taurus, rising Capricorn, Moon. Butterfly is earth, water. Astrid is earth and fire. Excellent. And Silver Star was like right around the world lag. Dorothea, I'm Cancer. My moon is Aries. Rising is also Scorpio. So water, fire. And Susie is letting Heather know that she is also a Capricorn moon. Excellent. All right, let's have a little bit more to you guys. And let's pull some bones for some extra, more personalized messages for the week. That's good tea. Let's pull for our fire signs first. I've got a little bit of fire in my chart, not in my sun, moon, or rising, but in Leo and Sagittarius. Those 2 are dancing around somewhere in my chart. Okay, fire. And bones is a little bit different just because I have to connect with the animal it belongs to. All right. Oh. All right, so we have this bone here, which let me just take a quick look-ski. This is actually a lynx bone. Susie's like, Astrid, I need to borrow your fire. All right, so fire signs. I have lynx here. So let me tap into lynx energy. Let me just do. Kind of move these. Okay. Okay. The message from lynx for our fire signs this week. I'm just imagining the lynx. It's like it's almost like there's a mound of snow and the lynx is kind of behind it, and all you can see are the little tufts on its ears and maybe its eyes every now and then. But it doesn't jump on its prey right away. It doesn't make hasty decisions. It waits, it listens. It's also known as an animal that is extremely connected to its intuition, as you know, all animals are. But this one waits, listens from its higher self, then it listens with its physical ears, and it decides when the moment is right. And that's what makes a lynx such a good predator, is because it doesn't make a lot of noise. It waits. It's a watcher, almost a lurker. You know, it waits, it listens to its heart, listens to its higher guidance. Is this the time to act? Yes. And then it acts. And almost seems like this animal comes out of nowhere, and it's a surprise, of course, to its prey because it's so silent. So for fire signs this week, with whatever is going on, let's say those lightning strikes, instead of making a hasty decision, let's just doing something just to do something, might actually hinder you. So take the time to pause take in what's happening, take a deep breath, ground yourself in the present moment. Who cares what happened in the past? There's nothing we can do about it now, okay? We don't have a DeLorean. It's not 1985, okay? We're only here in the present. I can't do anything about the future. I'm not there yet. Well, I mean, technically part of my soul is there yet, but me, right now, I'm not there yet. So just looking at the situation, looking at it from that eagle eye perspective, but also that lynx perspective, what can I do about it right now? So it's a much more slow paced, calm, pause, wait type energy. So fire signs, just really asking you to please be patient. Please don't try making decisions just to make a decision. But wait, even if you're being pressured by other people to make a decision, that's fine. Let them make hasty decisions, not you. Pause. Pause is the thing. Okay. Aw, so many hearts going around. All right, so this is for the fire sign. So that was Lynx energy. Okay, let me put that up here so it doesn't get mixed with the other bones. All right, let's look into earth signs. All right, all my earth babies out there. Something I lack in my chart. All right, earth. What do we have? What is this? This one is, oh, boar. So this is boar bone, wild boar. All right, let's take a look into this one, my earth signs. Okay, earth signs. So this seems to be all surrounding these lightning strike events kind of throughout this week. All right, my earth signs. Boar energy coming in, which actually has a bit of a fiery energy to it, which is interesting. But boar knows who it is. It's happy knowing who it is. You know, it doesn't change itself for someone else. It doesn't try to be anything else. It's just accept me as I am or don't accept me at all is the energy of boar. And so let's say, you know, the lightning strike happens this week and we want to make a decision or do a thing that feels like, oh wow, but in the past I would have totally not done anything like that. This is so different of me to do something like that. Feel into it and just go with it. Boar energy would just go with it. You know, it doesn't care what the boar was 5 minutes ago or how the boar used to act back when it was a baby boar. It just does. It just is, and it doesn't care what other people think about it, or other boars think about it. You know, maybe other people might be saying, oh wow, that's totally out of your character, what are you doing? It's like, okay, well, my character is really just based on past events. That doesn't define who I am in the present moment. So you can go ahead and judge all you want on who I was in the past, which only goes to show that you don't see me for who I am in this present moment. And now you don't have to say that out loud, but that could be something that kind of goes on in your head. So if you do feel like you're doing things that maybe you normally wouldn't have done, but you feel a little bit more confident, or you feel like it's the right thing to do because you are following your guidance, just know that you don't have to continue to act to be the person you used to be. Be the person you're feeling into right now. That's the main message coming through. Be like the boar. The boar does not give an F what anybody thinks about it. It just does. All right. Okay. Let me go back here. Silver Star says, that's what the links has been coming up. I'm on a break right now from my channel so I can see things calmly and rational perspective. That is so cool. She's like, perfect. Lisa said, yeah, boar is my spirit animal. That is amazing. And Susie's like, you label me, I label you. Metallica, be like the boar. Oh yeah. That is so cool. Okay. Let's go into water. Okay, water energy. All right, water elements, water elements. What animal would like to come through? Water elements. All right. For water elements, we have this. This is actually from bear. This is a bear knuckle, but this is bear energy right here. All right, bear. Water energy, water elements. Those of you with water in your charts. Me, I have it in my rising sign. James has it in his sun and moon signs, and I know you guys have various water elements throughout. But the bear, this time I'm seeing like a grizzly bear. And for some reason, the grizzly has just come out of the water. He's like shaking, he or she is shaking off the water from its fur. I assume it had just gotten a fish. When we think of grizzly bears, I mean, when we think of bears in general, usually people think of like big grizzly bears or big polar bears and, you know, things like that. And sometimes people think big and scary, not the little teddy bear stuffies that we have, but some people think like, oh man, like if I was in the forest and I came across a bear, I'd probably crap myself, you know, because bears are big. Bears have big claws. They can be quite intimidating looking. But in this case, bear is saying, for all you water signs out there, bear is a representation of our internal light and our internal power. That when you are fully in your power, that can be very intimidating for a lot of people who feel this small because they haven't seen their own power or their own light yet. So it'd be like a little human standing in front of a bear standing on its hind legs, which is like 7 feet tall, and it's like, roar. You know, we feel this small and we feel like we could be dominated by this person, this bear. And so bear is saying not to make yourself small in order to make other people feel better. If you have that bear energy, you're fully in your authentic self. You're fully in your power, in your light. Please don't dim that because other people might fear it. Do it so that they maybe someday will have the confidence to do what you do. They'll have the confidence to have their own bear energy show, their own light, their own confidence. But in this moment, maybe they're just not ready. That's not a part of their journey at this time. So they may say things to you out of fear. Like, why do you do that? People, that's just mean. You shouldn't act that way. You're just scaring people by doing that. Or, you know, anything that you do where you're just being yourself. And you could say, well, I thank you for your opinion. Maybe someday you'll find your power too, but this is just who I am. And unfortunately, maybe you don't vibe with who I am, is what Bear is saying. You know, if you're intimidated by this giant grizzly bear, maybe you haven't found the giant grizzly bear within yourself yet. All right. Whew. That one was a little bit bigger message there. Butterflies like Metallica. Susie's like, love these bones. Speaking so much today. Purity passion said, embrace the boar. And Astrid said, it's amazing, especially I've gotten the Queen of Scepters as a last card with the previous Judgment and Lord of Knives. What a synchronicity. Very cool. And Butterfly said, bears can climb, nowhere to run. I know, they have so many talents. They are like almost like a perfect animal, you know. They can do all the things. Maybe they can't fly, but they can do many things. Dorothea said, this was such a good message. Thank you. I'm trying to embrace the bear inside of me. Be proud of myself. Exactly. And, you know, like I said, there are some people that just aren't ready to embrace their own light. And so instead they want to make others who are embracing their light dim theirs, because then they'll feel more comfortable. You know, we feel comfortable around people that are more like us, right? So people that are high vibing want to be around other high vibing people. People that are low vibing want to be around other low vibing people. It doesn't make one better or, you know, the other. It's just the way people are. And so if you're around somebody that's not on the same frequency as you, or they're not at that point in their journey yet, then they feel very uncomfortable around somebody like that. And so they'll want you to make yourself more like them so that they can feel comfortable. But that's not how we grow. We can't do that for others. We can't grow that way. And it's nothing negative about that person. It's nothing negative about you. It's just where you guys are. You're on separate paths at the moment. Silver Star says, back to lurking. Love you all so much. Best group. And Susie said, you should be called Kittens, Waits, Tarot, and Channeler. All right. Let's go to our earth sign babies. Okay. I'm sorry, air signs. Air signs. That's me, air sign. Okay. Air signs. What bone do we have? This one is, I get some of them all. I have to feel them out because some of the bones are mixed. Oh, I know what bone this is. This is coyote. Ooh, coyote. Yes. All right. Air sign, coyote. Okay. Well, this makes sense that I would pull coyote. Okay. When I was up at the property, there was one night where, just as the sun went down, all the coyotes started coming out, so you can hear them all, barking and doing their weird little howls that they do. And there was one coyote that I could hear that was down in the canyon all by itself, and I think it was calling out to the other coyotes. So it was like, it was like making this like kind of weird sounds in order to attract the other coyotes. But if you think about it, if that coyote never voiced where it was, how are the other coyotes going to know where it is? Maybe that coyote found a great source of food. Maybe it found some water. Maybe it found just a really cool spot to chill for the other coyotes. They won't know because they can't hear that other coyote. So for your air signs this week, communication is key. How do people know what you want unless you say something? How do people know what you're thinking unless you say something? How do people know what you want to go do, the decisions you want to make, unless you say something? So please use that throat chakra this week. Communicate. Let people know what you're thinking. What are your plans? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do that? What are you feeling? And the more you voice what's going on, the more you encourage others to voice what's going on, so that there's just more clear communication. People can be easily understood. And maybe you voice your messages out on the internet. Maybe you put it on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it may be. And other people will inadvertently hear that voice. Oh, I resonate with that message. They are reading or looking at the messages that you're putting out. They connect with that. It gets the wheels and the cogs spinning in their head of what they want to do next. And maybe they have no idea who you are, but they just saw your meme or your photo or your video or whatever it was, and it got them doing something, got them communicating. So you need to communicate. Voice, whether it's verbally, whether it's in pictures, whether it's in art, whether it's in memes, but voice what you're doing, what you're thinking, what you want to say, because others want to connect to that, but they don't know where you are, who you are, or what your message is unless you say something. Allow others the ability to connect. All right, so that is the message from Coyote. All right. Susie's like, Coyote. All right, very good. Loved busting these bones with you guys. Okay, so let's just move these for a second. Just put some of my other bones away. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed the bones as well. All right, so we'll put those there. And then we have our special question. So you guys got to vote in a few different places, actually. So there's the public YouTube vote that's on my channel. like the channel page. So I posed 4 questions. You guys voted on the question that you most wanted me to pull cards on. And I also post those same questions to my YouTube channel members and also to my Patreon homies. So in essence, if you're on Patreon or YouTube, you get to kind of vote twice, because you get to vote on the public forum plus the private forum, which is Patreon and YouTube memberships. So kind of the perks. All right, so the winning question was, what message does my future self have for me 3 years into the future? All right, for all those future Dorotheas and Liesels and Susies and Heathers and Butterfly Love Childs and all of you guys out there. So future message. Okay, let's make a little bit of space here because I've got a lot going on down here. Okay, we're going to use the holographic tarot, which is the other deck that James got me for my birthday. And let's take a look here. Message from future self. Message from future self. Here we go. All right, here we go. And by the way, before I even look at this card, let me just show you the backs of this deck. And here are the fronts. They're all holographic-y. How amazeballs. They look amazing in the sun. They're like little rainbows everywhere. So, okay, just wanted to show you that. Okay, so let's take a look at the card then. A message from our future self 3 years into the future. Oh, well, you look at that. The 3 of Cups. Okay. Let me just fix my legs here. Let me tap into this one. Message from our future self 3 years into the future. Okay, the message coming through here says that there are some, well, many of us, there are some long-term plans that many of us have. Like for me, it's hashtag burning sage. You know, of course I want the house and everything, a house of some sort on the property, but I really want the retreat. I really want a little community. And I know that you guys are all working on your long-term goals as well. Some of you guys want to move somewhere. Some of you guys want to travel somewhere. Some of you guys are working towards something that involves other people. But there are some long-term goals that we all have. And it says that many of us will be kind of at the beginning of that long-term goal. Like it's finally starting to happen and you're at the beginning stages of it. You're not in the planning stages or the dream stages of it, the little bits and things just to get you there. You're in it. You're at the start of it. So like, let's say for me, it would be maybe the retreat thing is maybe starting to happen, but it's not in full swing yet. You know, maybe for you guys, your travel plans, you're getting ready to travel, but you haven't traveled yet. You know, it's like the just before. It's like that leap just before everything starts to happen. And the message from your future self, for like I said, because I'm trying to do this not individually, but like for all of us together, since I'm not just reading for one person. To really embrace what's going on at the beginning. I would say what you might want to do, your ego might want to do, is start thinking past already. You know, the thing hasn't even happened. You're like standing at the gates of the, you know, to get onto your plane. I'm standing, you know, at the place to buy cabins or something for, you know, the retreat. You know, you're literally standing there ready to fulfill a dream that you've been wanting to do for so long, and already the ego wants to think beyond. It doesn't want to be in the present moment. It was like, okay, so then once we get this, then this will happen, and then this will happen, and this will happen. And it's taking the joy out of the beginning of the adventure, almost like the Fool card. You know, how many times do you get to stand in the Fool card's place? You know, he's not there forever, or, you know, it's not there forever. There's so many other cards that come after it, you know. So embrace that Fool energy. You're literally standing, making plans to board a plane to the place that you've always wanted to go. You're literally making a retreat for people that you've always wanted to do. So why are you so worried about what's happening a year from now? Or even, you know, the weeks into the future? It hasn't happened yet. Just be in the joy of the right now. So that's what the future self is saying, is that yes, a lot of the things that you guys are working towards, you're going to be like right on the edge of just before it happens. You know, planning that you've done for heal trauma, get you to the place that you're standing at right now. You're literally on the precipice. You're right there. So that's where you should be, in full gratitude of like, my gosh, look how far I've come. I'm standing in front of my dream right now. This is freaking amazeballs. Instead of like, okay, yeah, so and then I got to do the thing with the plane, but I've also got to do this, and I've got to do this. And it's like, wasn't that your dream? Like, wouldn't you 3 years ago have been psyched to be where you are right now, but yet you're glossing over it to plan for the future? It's like, stay in that present moment, because the more you can, the more magical that ride is going to be. It's going to be quite a ride. That's what I'm getting. It's like, it's going to be so magical that you're going to want to savor each and every moment. I'm not saying it's all going to be lovely rainbows and unicorns. There's going to be ups and downs, but you're going to want to savor every single moment. Seriously. All right. So that one felt like a big message. All right. Here we go. Woo, woo, woo. Just calming down for a second. All right, let me go back to your messages. Lots of hearts. Astrid said it was great. Susie said stunning. Good news. I will be the first to sign up for the retreat. Edgar says, I can't hear, something up with my YouTube volume. Oh, there's so many weird internet things today. Susie's like, oh dear. Lisa pulled the 3 of Cups too. Are you serious? Dude, that's amazing. Edgar's like, things tend to become easier when you learn to let go. Exactly. And Susie said, beautiful. Dorothea said, my internet is acting up, so unfortunately I gotta go, but I want to thank this group, this moment, and all of the embrace that 3 of Cups. All right. That's so cool. And then Lisa pulled the same card, so that's amazing. All right. Oh, we've come to the point in our chat where we have 2 questions. You guys get to live on those 2 questions for the one that you want me to pull cards on. And we're going to be pulling from the Oracle of Roses. All right, so here are the 2 questions. And I'm going to ask you guys to vote with what would become more clear with a bird's eye view of my current situation. What would become more clear with a bird's eye view of my current situation? And if that's a question you want me to pull a card on, please vote with a red heart emoji or just type the words red heart. Susie's saying that her internet is acting up too. Very interesting. All right, Dorothea. I would understand. Astrid's internet is also lagging. Okay, so again, the question, so go ahead and vote. Red heart for what would become more clear with a bird's eye view of the situation, or green heart, what do my ancestors wish I would understand? So red heart for what would become more clear on your situation, green heart, what your ancestors wish you'd understand. All right, so go ahead. Lagging. That is so weird because I know you guys are all like in various different parts of the world. Susie's like wondering, funky. So that's 4 green hearts to 1 red heart. And again, people who are, so hopefully it helps to clear up you guys. I cannot control these 4 here. What do my ancestors wish I could understand? It has been very weird. Well, my internet's been funky. Do 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 do. All right, so it looks like our green hearts win. All right, and like I said, we're gonna bust out the Oracle of Roses. And the green hearts question is, what do my ancestors... Exactly. Lala's like, I lost. Well, it's not really a loss. We still get a message. All right, so green heart. So I will not look at it quite yet till I get my... Have the Architect, Woods Rose. Every time I think of the Architect, I think of the Matrix. You know the guy? This is okay. You are back, at least for a moment. Oh no. Okay, so ancestors, what they wish you could understand. Let me dive into this one. And maybe it's all the channeling too. You think it could be? Like, because sometimes I don't know, anytime I'm doing channeling or mediumship readings or any sort of, it seems to like make everybody's internet kind of message. Okay. When I say ancestors, these are all the people that have come before us, whether they are connected to our lineage or not. These are the people of the earth that have come before us, including us, with all our past lives and soul fragments. Ancestors would like us to understand is that we literally build our own little individual worlds. I say individual worlds because, we have our own little day-to-day things. We have our own life's path. We have our own lessons to learn and all of that. And it's almost like although we're all connected, we're all a little world unto ourselves. We have what's going on in our little world. You really can build whatever life you want, as we've been talking today, in the present moment. That's coming up a lot. Sometimes our ego will talk us out of things, thinking that we don't have the power to do the thing. Somebody might say, come up to you and say, well, if you don't like your job, why don't you go do something that you want to go do? And automatically the ego jumps in with, I can't do that because I don't have skills for anything else. Well, then how do you know what other skills you have for anything else? Have you tried? Have you, or the ego likes to come in with, oh, but I won't find a job that pays exactly as I'm getting paid right now. But how do you know? Like, you're already manifesting that you can't find a job. Or in a place and you want to move somewhere else, or say, and you say, I can't because I don't have the money to move all of this. Maybe not right now, but now you're putting limitation on any sort of abundance coming into helping you to get to where you want to go. You're saying, I can't. It won't happen. It's impossible. With what's in my bank account, it can't happen. It won't happen. What I'm getting paid at my job, it can't happen. What if I can't have a job where I want to go? You see, all these things keep coming up, the ancestors are saying. Our ego wants to keep us where we are. Why? The ego is not malicious. It's not trying to be mean to us. It just doesn't have an intuition. Maybe you don't have enough in the bank account. Maybe you, to possibilities, open to magic, open to manifesting, instead of closing yourself off and saying, it can't happen, it won't happen. Your ancestors are like, you literally build the house you're friends with. You decide who you want to be surrounded by, what kind of people. And if you're surrounded by certain negative people, then you need to ask yourself, why am I putting out that energy to attract those negative people? Is that something that I could work on? Again, ancestors are like, we are in no way trying to put you down. We're not saying you've been bad. We're not saying you've done wrong. We're just pointing something out so that you know how much power you have, how much manifesting power you have. We want you to see your light. We're not trying to make you feel bad. We're trying to say, you can change anything. You can do anything, literally, that you want to. You just have to be open to it. And if you find that, maybe there are some negative people in your life and you say, oh, you know what? That reminds me on some stuff that I need to get healed so I can change that frequency. Thank you. Thank those people for reminding you the things that you need to heal in yourself. And then you work on those almost overnight. So the ancestors are saying, if there's something that you've always wanted, and you're saying, maybe this will happen in the future. Do you want it to happen now? Or are you putting time limits because you think it can't happen until the future? You think it can't happen for another 5 years because it's impossible. Logically speaking, maybe it is impossible. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to communicate with them. So there's more. It's what spiritualists tap into. It's what witches, and we all have something that we can tap into, regardless of our beliefs. So I'm getting, go build that home. Go and build it. Make a wish right now and make it happen. How do you make it happen? It's not through blood, sweat, and tears. It's just allowing yourself to be open to the possibility. It can happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it will. And that should be our motto. But truly believe it when you say it. Whew. Brandy, hey, sis just got here late to the party. Brandy, how are you? Astrid said, sorry, I have to go. We'll watch later. It was nice to be with you all. All right, Astrid, you have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a fabulous week. Susie's like, boots and kick out the negative people. There you go. Susie said, I want to thank you for a delightful chat and readings. I keep losing my signal. Oh no. Trying to stick around to the end. Kira, hello. This is very light hi to everyone. Hello, hello. Very cool. Wow, this was a powerful message, you guys. All right. So, we have come to the portion in our chat where we have, our healing. So I have my drum here. I'm like guided meditation just so we can focus on our intentions for the week and allow those intentions to come in. Anything that we want to release, we'll release it. So throughout this chat so far, which of the messages actually do we want to let go? Okay, because remember, all right, guys. So in the Earl Grey is fun. Chair, you can lay down on the bed, but just make sure that your spine is nice and straight, or as straight as it can be. So if you're laying down, just try to straighten out your body, and if you're sitting, just make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. We want a nice flow of energy through that tree of life that is our spinal cord. All right. And go ahead, just take a nice deep breath. Bring yourself into your body. Just being aware of how your body feels. Does it feel sore? Does it feel achy anywhere? I know that my shoulder feels a little sore. Then just focus on the breath. Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing deeply? Somewhere in between? We're just taking notice, that's all. To the diaphragm, the lungs, the stomach. Nice deep breath in. Here we go. Ready? And hold. Release. All the way. Spinal cord, belly button to the spinal cord. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. And as you do, I want you to focus. What do you want to do with this information? What do you want to bring in? You are a magical manifester. Anything you want will be so. So what do you want to bring in? Those energies, breathe it in. exhale, think about the feeling, certain energy, release it. Exhale. And as you're continuing to inhale and exhale, we're going to imagine roots coming out from our legs to our feet. And those roots are diving deep past your carpets, your floorboards, past the concrete slabs, and all of the man-made items. Back to the origin, back to terra firma, back to the earth. And you feel the soil get more and more cool as your roots go deeper and deeper and deeper. And your roots are met with all the other root systems on this planet, both energetic and physical. You feel the roots of the plants, the trees, but also of crystals, of animals, other humans. And it becomes a tangled web of roots. You don't know where your root begins or ends. And that's how it should be, all connected as one. And all of these roots make them know that you are grounded, you are safe. Fill every cell in your body, every organ, everything. If you have soreness somewhere, let it fill it up and let it explode out of the crown chakra. And this ignites source energy, and that bright white high vibrational light comes tumbling down your crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root, igniting them all, filling your body with light, every cell, every organ, everything. If you need to send light somewhere, send it there. A conduit of energy for both earth and sky, source and Gaia. Duality, mingling in one body. You are spirit and you are earth. You are 5D and you're 3D. One foot in one world, the other foot in the other. Sometimes you need reminding of this, and that is okay. And at this point, as you feel these energies moving within you, I want you to think back on those intentions and those things that you want to release. And allow the piece of you that is earth and the piece of you that is spirit to work on bringing those things in and to release the things that you wish to release. And continue your focus. Go ahead and bring your awareness. And if you've had your eyes closed, go ahead and open them up again. Thank you, Purity Passion, very welcome. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for hanging out with me, and hope you guys enjoyed all of the stories, all of the readings. and the healing. It's why I love to do this. I love these live chats. I love hanging out with you guys. And thank you to the new channel members. So Liesel and Susie and Silverstar, thank you all so very much. Remember, if anybody wanted to do super chats or super stickers, now's the chance to do it. It's for individual one card readings. Kira, you are so very welcome. But yeah, let's pull out that wonderful buffalo horn knife that we have and thank the elementals for helping us with our circle today. So thank you, elementals of the north, for helping us to cast our circle today. Thank you, elementals of the west, for helping us to cast our circle today. Thank you, elementals of the south, but the circle still remains. As above, so below. As within, so without. Marry me. We're all hanging out, and I want to do a little special thanks. So thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel, and if you aren't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Thank you, everybody, for all the thumbs ups, for all the shares, all the people that hang out during the chats, all the people that leave comments. Kara said, bye. I'll try not to be so terribly next time. No worries, no worry. And also everybody who did the PayPal Me donations. So today's the last day for donation readings. So if you go to my Instagram, or actually you can go to the link down below, it's my PayPal Me. You can just send it. So yeah, so thank you everybody who did the birthday donation readings. I tried doing some of those while I was up. Everybody who bought readings. Like I said, I have a couple of readings right after this chat today. But also, like I said, for my channel members, thank you, Liesel and Susie and Silverstar, very much. All right, guys, I will catch you next week. I also have actually Moonbox unboxing for you guys. That'll be a pre-recorded video. You guys will be able to see this upcoming week as well. So anyway, I will catch you spiritual homies later. Thanks for hanging out. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.